Now that the investigation is officially over, many questions still loom over the Mueller report. 10 News reporter Cassie Carlisle spoke with a former U.S. attorney on what will happen next.
Yeah, good evening. We spoke with Chuck LaBella, who actually used to work down here downtown when he was a U.S. attorney. He investigated campaign finance abuses for former President Bill Clinton's administration. And after going through a very similar process, he tells us why most of the Mueller report probably won't be released and why the president shouldn't celebrate so soon.
So he didn't call a ball or a strike. He just said, you know, I'm going to let you guys do this.
Former U.S. Attorney Chuck LaBella says Attorney Robert Mueller is leaving it up to the Department of Justice to decide if President Donald Trump or any of his aides colluded with Russians to interfere with the 2016 election, or if they obstructed justice.
I actually think it's the right call for him to make because he is not in the Department of Justice. I mean, he's a former prosecutor. He knows what the rules are. He knows what the standard is. But this is a Department of Justice policy decision.
Another decision: how much of the report to release to the public.
People calling for the public wholesale release of this report really need to check the law because the law is pretty clear.
Saying grand jury materials, including interviews, are private.
It could potentially hurt people who had only tangential involvement in this. They initially were suspected of bad conduct.
And exonerated. How's any of this going to affect San Diegans?
I don't think anything is going to change the election vis-a-vis California. I think California is pretty much on one side already.
While Democrat leaders say this weighs heavily in future politics.
You know, it raises a lot of questions about our next election and what we're going to do. How are we preparing for it? And so a lot of this really informs us all about what we can do to be sure that this never happens again.
As for the president,
I would not be doing a touchdown dance, or a dance of victory quite yet, because, you know, the Southern District of New York is gonna come out with the results of its investigation.
Saying the president could still face legal trouble.
Looking at a lot of activities related to his corporate activities, his family's activities, his charitable activities, his campaign finance activities.
And there is no timeline on when that report will come out. There's no timeline on when that report will come out, but LaBella says that those attorneys are working quickly as they can and as meticulously as they can. Reporting live downtown, Cassie Carlisle, 10 News.